Yes, good afternoon. It's a Saturday afternoon, Saturday the 6th of November 2010, just a touch past 3 o'clock, 4 minutes past 3 o'clock. Welcome along, Chris Reardon with you here live for the next hour here on United Kingdom Radio. Now, poor old President Obama, always been thrashed, hasn't he? Poor old President Obama. How the masses turn. Aren't you all so fickle in the USA, dear, eh? Just a little bit of hardship and you all go for... He can't rush things. You're trying to rush him, aren't you? President Obama, don't try and rush him, dear. These things take time. The world wasn't made in a couple of minutes, was it? Oh, poor old President. Oh, give him a chance, for God's... I mean, we'll have him here. I'd be happy to have him here on United Kingdom Radio doing a chat show. Wouldn't that be like? Live from the USA. Please welcome Mr. Obama. I like the sound of that, eh? And can you someone explain to me, please? I've heard several times mentioned now something rather quaint that you have in America that I only thought we had here in the UK. And I quote from the news, the Tea Party. Now, will someone in the States please let me know what all that's about, okay? The Tea Party. I keep hearing the Tea Party mentioned. What is this Tea Party that you've got ongoing in America? I thought you were coffee people there. I keep hearing the Tea Party mentioned. Is this a group of elderly people sitting in a home somewhere with little cups of tea? Is that what it is? Because I haven't got a clue. I know about the Republicans. I know about the Democrats. But what is this Tea Party? Now, if you're with us live today, you can join in live. Check the clock. Is it 6 minutes past 3 UK time? Oh, you're not quite sure what the time is in the UK, are you? Well, we have a UK time clock on our website, unitedkingdomradio.co.uk. That is the UK time. So go on, have a quick look on there. Is it Saturday? Is it the 6th of November 2010? And is it 7 or 8 minutes past 3 o'clock? If that's the time where you are now, then you know you are with us live. And especially if you're in America, I'd like to hear from you today. So someone please explain to me what the Tea Party is. Right, you can join in by Skype. Either give me a Skype call, or maybe you just want to tap in a little message on the Skype. That's okay as well. Our Skype username is United Kingdom Radio. Okay? United Kingdom Radio is our Skype username. There's also a phone number, a local London phone number, 020 3287 1488. Local London number, 020 3287 1488. Or, if you want to send us an email, that's fine as well. Sometimes people like to say, I don't want to talk to him. I'm not quite sure what to say. Well, you can spend the time, putting a little email together anytime. You don't have to send it now. You could send it tomorrow. You can send it next year. Don't leave it too long, because I might be dead. Okay? I mean, I do intend to... I have been booked for 250,000 years to do this show, but if you leave it a day after that, I might be gone. So if you want to send an email, that's cool as well. Send your emails to chris@unitedkingdomradio.co.uk. All right, chris@unitedkingdomradio.co.uk. What is this Tea Party that they keep talking about in the USA? I keep hearing it on the news. Don't know what that is. Please explain. Is it a new political party? If so, I think I should be joining that, because I do like a cup of tea. Eh? I like a cup of tea. The Tea Party in the USA, I may have to come over and just join them. Now, some people already sending messages this morning, this afternoon. Good morning to Sean Richies, who's with us live at 5 o'clock. And an extra show from Sean today at 8 o'clock, where he's doing a show from a fireworks party. Don't know how that's going to work, but we'll soon see. All right, Sean is with us at 5. 2 shows from Sean today, who has, by far, the best theme music of any radio show I've ever heard. I love it. We love Sean Richies. We also would like to hit the start record button as well, because I've forgotten that again. Never mind. Sorry, you're a little bit late on the recording. Never mind. Now, Sean says, did you have a new news bed? No, it's the same. Nothing's changed. It must be your ears. Young Sean. Got a problem with his ears, haven't you? Wash them out. Are you one of these young lads who doesn't wash? I bet you don't, do you? I bet you don't brush your teeth for days on end or wash your ears out. Dear me. Don't use cotton buds. Very bad. Do not put cotton buds in your ears. We've had this discussion before, haven't we? Cotton buds. If you don't use them for your ears, which you're not supposed to do anyway, you ask the doctor, he says, very bad to put a cotton bud in the ear. Well, what are they actually for? And don't they hang around forever? You know, you go on the beaches, you find them all there. Cotton buds, don't you? Cotton buds all over the place. And some idiots try and put them down the toilet. How stupid are you? Are you one of those people who keeps blocking up my sewers with your cotton buds? What on earth are you doing with them? Don't put them in your ears. Very, very bad. You will perforate your eardrum. And then you won't be able to hear me. And God knows I'm desperate for listeners. I am. I am. No, it's not a new news bed at all. He says, what is that word, cool? It's a chavvy word, never use it. Who said cool? Did I say cool? Sorry, I must have missed that. I must have said cool accidentally. Oh, look what it is. David and Kat on the Isle of Wight. Hello, David and Kat on the Isle of Wight. Very well, thank you very much, you two. Do either of you two know what the tea party is? It's very, very strange. Very strange. Sean says, no, I'm one of the people who block the toilets up at school with rolls of toilet paper. Well, why do you need so much? Does annoy me, that does. People wasting things. Don't waste toilet paper. Just take off what you need. And if you take off too much, then wrap it. Don't you hate the toilet paper? Right. You know, when you're in a public toilet, okay, and you pull down a piece and the roll stops. And it stops you taking any more off, doesn't it? You know the ones I mean? I hate that, don't you? So you're sitting there on the toilet, okay, and you're finished, and you go to, and it's usually, the toilet roll is somewhere awkwardly behind you, isn't it? So you got to lean round, you hurt your back trying to get this bit of toilet paper, and you pull it, and only one piece comes off, and the toilet roll holder has got some sort of mechanism to stop you taking more than one piece. Another thing that annoys me in toilets, public toilets, I've been in a few, is when you pull the paper down and it breaks at the top. So then you have to put your hand in the toilet roll dispenser and keep turning the damn thing round until eventually you find the end of it. Don't you hate that? I really hate that. I don't know how we got onto the subject of public toilets. I expect there's a few of you that have visited those before in your lives. Possibly for longer than you should have done. I don't know if anyone's used to play that game. How many people can you get in a public cubicle? That's great fun. It really is. The other thing that annoys me is toilets with no full walls. You know the walls on either side of you and the door in front of you. Now, when I use a toilet that isn't in my own house, although I have these as well, I like the wall to go from the floor to the ceiling. And again, I like the door to go from the floor to the ceiling, so that you are completely enclosed in this little room. There's one thing I hate, and that's toilets with kind of partitions that don't reach the floor. And I'm always terrified someone's going to look underneath, or, even worse than that, the embarrassment of making a noise. You might be at a pub with a friend or two, and you both go to the toilet at the same time, especially if you're girls. Oh, yes. If a group of 25 girls go into a club or a bar, then they all go to the toilet at the same time. What is all that about? What are they doing in there? What goes on in women's toilets? There has been occasions where I've had to use the ladies' toilets. And can I just say, chaps, if you've never been in a ladies' toilet, you don't want to go in there. They are disgusting. I don't know what these women do in those toilets, but they are always absolutely filthy and disgusting. Women's toilets. The seats all wet, rubbish on the floors. What are these women doing in their toilets? Simon, I'll be with you in a second. What are these women doing in these toilets? Filthy, dirty places. Women's toilet. You really don't want to go in one, I'm telling you now. The men, they go in the toilet, they get on with it, and they get out again. In and out, 2 minutes. Done. Women are in there for 45 minutes. Chatting. Chatting. Putting makeup on. Adjusting their hair. Removing knickers. What are they doing in these toilets, these women? Anyway, I hate toilets where the doors or the walls don't go from the top to the bottom. I hate partitions because you make the slightest noise and the bloke in the next cubicle is going to hear you. You know, oh God, and you can't look, can you? Although I have found a way around that. When you're sitting on the toilet, if you think you're going to make a noise, simply place your fingers in your ear holes and then you can't hear it. You make the noise, take your fingers off again, and probably no one has heard it because you didn't hear it either. Huh? I hate those toilets with the doors and the walls that don't go from top to bottom. Let's take a call. Over to the Isle of Wight. Hello, Simon.
Hello, I was a bit worried. Just when Skype connected, all I got was women's toilets.
Oh, women's toilets. Have you ever had the unfortunate necessity to visit a woman's toilet? Probably at some time in your life, maybe once or twice.
Well, it's funny you should say that.
Right. Tell me your terrible, terrible experience.
Well, no, not really, but it's just that it wasn't one of my great claim to fame, but I used to clean ladies' toilets for a living, and gents as well. Obviously.
Oh, right, okay, yes.
So, yes, I've been in quite a few ladies' toilets in my time.
Was that on the Isle of Wight?
Yeah, it's quite funny. There's a set of toilets outside Sandown Pier.
Okay, yes.
At the time I used to work for the firm, like during the summer, they used to have a toilet attendant there all the time. It's quite old-fashioned, really. You don't often hear that now, do you?
No, you don't. You just don't get toilet attendants now. They're all these autumn. Well, I mean, I remember years and years ago, they would we had some of these super loos installed. Do you remember those?
We never had any on the island, but I know what you're talking about.
They all seem to have disappeared. So I don't know what happened there. These things, I gather, used to clean themselves somehow, and you'd put...
Yeah, that's how I lost my job. See, self-cleaning loo.
Do you know how they worked? You'd put the door would be... These were like little buildings in the middle of the street somewhere. Or indeed, there was a couple... there was one either side of the motorway that I used to come home, one on either side of the motorway, and you pull in the lay-by and use this toilet, and it was like a little building all on its own, and you'd put, I think it was 20p in, and then this automatic door, which was quite solid, would open, and then you'd close the door, and I think you had about 15 minutes, after which it would automatically open on its own. And you'd do your business, and then you'd come out, and the entire toilet would then clean itself somehow.
Good heavens.
Well, they seem to have disappeared.
Oh, 15 minutes won't be long enough for me when I have to do, sort of...
Oh, dear me, I don't want to know the details.
Well, it just takes me longer than 15 minutes. I'm there with the paper, a few magazines. And,
but they've all disappeared.
Not that sort of magazine I shouldn't have had.
Simon, these super toilets have disappeared. I don't know what's happened to them.
No, they're all the rage at one time, weren't they?
They were appearing all over the place, and they seem to be taking them out again now. I don't know why. So tell me, out of a women's toilet and a men's toilet, presumably you cleaned both, did you?
Yes.
Which were dirtier?
Men's.
Oh, I don't believe that for one moment. I can't believe that for one. I have gone into women's toilets before, and they are just water all over the seats or whatever it is, nappies left in the corner, and other women's things in there.
Yeah, you do get that.
Oh, no, dreadful. Yeah. Dreadful. You don't get any of that in the men's toilets. In the men's toilets, what you tend to find are bogies stuck on the wall. What's all that about? Why do people do that?
I used to find other things stuck on the wall, but not bogies.
Oh, it's just awful. I always find bogies. You can just imagine people sitting there picking their nose and wiping it. It's just awful. Why are people like this?
I must admit, it wasn't one of my favourite jobs, but it's one of those things. You know, if you do a dirty job, you can't walk into that situation and think, "Oh, isn't this dirty?" Just get on with it.
Oh, it's just dreadful. Whereabouts are you on the Isle of Wight, Simon?
I'm in Ventnor.
Okay. Because we have two good friends to the station, David and Kat. I don't know if you know them. They're in Ryde. They're with us as well this afternoon.
Yeah, it's about 10 miles away from where I am.
Oh, it's not far then. Yeah, not far at all.
The reason why I called was I listened to your broadcast on Tuesday.
Yes.
And I was just, I was just overcome with the emotion. No, not the emotion. The emotion of it all. You getting so excited about talking of jobs, about your dream job of being a fairy, and you were too old, mate.
Oh, I am. Yeah. I was so disappointed about that. There was an article in one of the local papers about a job. I thought it was job, and it was for elves and fairies. And then when I looked down, it was actually an event for children, and it wasn't a job at all. So I was most disappointed about that indeed, David. I think even your one will be. How old are you? How old is your two?
They're 10 and 14.
Oh, the 14-year-old would be too low. But the 10-year-old, is that the girl?
No, that's a boy.
Oh, well, the 14-year-old, she's too old, I'm afraid. Was it 8? I haven't got the paper. Wasn't it 8 to 10 or something like that? Or 6 to 10, something else. It was an event for children rather than a job for adults. I was most disappointed.
Yeah, I know. I think there's a gap in the market there, isn't there? You could open up a nightclub or something for fairies.
Have you got many nightclubs on the Isle of Wight?
We've got very few now.
Right.
When my sisters used to go out, because I had the trouble of having two older sisters and me being the younger brother.
Yes.
There was quite a few nightclubs, but I think there's only 2 or 3 now. I must admit, it's never been my scene for one reason or another.
Right. Okay.
But no, we haven't got many now.
Do the pubs open late there? Do you get like 12, 1, 2 o'clock pubs or not?
I think you do in Newport, but I don't think it's really caught on a lot on the island, to be honest. I think we have a place down Sandown called, funny enough, what we've just been talking about, the nightclub's called Colonel Bogey's.
Oh dear, yeah.
And I think that stay opens now to about 3, 4 o'clock, and there's a bar over the top of it. I think that stay opens fairly late as well, but I'm boring middle-aged now, so I wouldn't know. I've been there for years.
You don't visit pubs at all, no?
I visit pubs sort of like now and here, but it's just so expensive now. Isn't it?
Do you ever go to any of the entertainment nights? Like, for example, karaoke. Do you have any karaoke nights on the island?
Yeah, a few. You have the sort of like local DJs who sort of like nowadays do the sort of like karaoke as well, and some of them are quite well attended. I've been to a few in Sandown, and the calibre of singing there is a lot better than what it is on a certain television programme that drives around the bend on Saturday nights.
Yeah, with karaoke nights, you can have some nights where the singers are really, you get one after the other, are really good. The 2 places I work in, the better singers tend to be, I do 2 karaoke nights, one at Belushi's in Hammersmith, on Monday nights at 9 o'clock, and one at Belushi's in Borough, just after London Bridge on the south side. That starts at 10 o'clock on Wednesdays. The Hammersmith singers tend to be the better ones. I mean, it's some wonderful singers who come to that. There's a guy called Silence, and he's a black guy, and he's got all the hair underneath one of those hats. What are those hats called? You know, the woolen hats?
Tea cozies.
No, it's not a tea cozy. You know, he's got all the like the Rastafarian hair.
Yeah.
And there's loads of it, and he's got this like woolen hat that he puts over. And he's not old, he's about 25, 26, something like that. And he's got the most wonderful voice. Wonderful voice. And there's another girl, Shirley, and she must be 6 foot tall, this girl. And again, she's got a really good voice. And sometimes you can get a night where one after the other, singer after singer after singer, is really good. But you can get other nights where you just think, when can I go home?
Yeah, you think some of these people on X Factor, you almost think they're put there as a laugh, don't you? When they're so bad. But I don't think they are. I think some people got just got such a personality that they think they're absolutely fantastic when
Yeah, there are some of those as well. There's some that come up there and they can't sing a note. They're really bad, but they think they are really good. And they act as if they're really good. And it's a job sometimes not telling them. Because one thing I would never ever do is take the mick out of anyone who was a bad singer. You treat everyone the same. The ones that are really good, maybe you can push them up a bit more, you know. But the ones that are really bad, you never tell them. You never show that, because if you do that, let me tell you, you'll be out of a job straight away. There's a couple of different karaoke nights I've seen myself, and one of the worst ones is where the presenter, i.e., that would be me in this case, but I don't do this. The presenter keeps pushing him or herself forward to do more songs.
Yeah,
you know, so you've got customer, presenter, you know, and that's bad. I only ever sing when there's a gap. If I need to keep the momentum going. That's the only time I ever sing. But in all honesty, in the last few months, I haven't sung at all because I've been very fortunate. The nights I do are pretty busy, and once they start, they just go right till the end without any gaps at all.
Oh, you could give us a tune now if you want.
Oh, I couldn't possibly do that. Would you? I don't know. We're not allowed to play music on here because we don't have a license. I don't know how it would go when we do karaoke songs, though. I don't know if that's covered by that or not. Actually, James Dean is with us this afternoon. James Dean, a very good friend of mine who's in Manchester. He would know that. James, am I allowed to sing karaoke songs with backing track? Is that classed as music or not? Please let me know. It's just oh, I got a message here. Simon, from Dave and Kat. Can they have your Skype?
Oh, I don't even know what it is, to be honest. Hang on.
Skype using that. No, don't give it to me now. Don't give it to me now.
I'll email it to you or something. We'll sort something out, won't we?
Yeah, do you know, I'm not sure how to do that now. Let me just find that. No, I don't know. I could add them to the conversation, but I don't usually do that. I like to just talk one-to-one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they can find me on Facebook. I'm not worried about giving out my Facebook address.
Oh, yeah, okay, what's your Facebook name?
Simon Steele.
Right.
Simple as that.
Okay, I've copied and pasted your name to them, as long as that's all right. Okay, I've done that for you. Yeah, okay. They are saying here, just a minute. Kat says the men's loos are just as bad on the Isle of Wight, and she says there is bogies in Sandown. Is that right? Bogies in Sandown toilets.
No, unless you were saying to the other conversation we're having about nightclubs, about Colonel Bogies, I'm not sure.
Oh, bogies, of course, yeah. Bogies in Sandown. I beg your pardon. I'm getting very confused. Very confused indeed. Oh, just a minute. Backing tracks. Oh, bad news, I'm afraid. Same licence is needed, so I can't sing you a song.
Oh, dear.
Sorry about that.
I'll have to get you on the internet radio station I'm involved with as well. They're licensing music. I'll have to phone you up one day and give us a tune on there.
What's that one?
Do you mind me saying?
No, you say whatever you want, mate.
Vectus Radio. Hopefully, my memory for names terror. Hopefully, the people from the Isle of Wight you've just mentioned, hopefully they know of them.
Is that just an online one? Is it, or is that FM as well?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we've got like I was going to say proper. That's a terrible thing to say. But we got one that transmits sort of broadcasts.
Yes.
And this other one is run by an ex-employee of. It's pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, do you have a multiplex? Do you know what a multiplex is?
No.
No. Okay. Do you have DAB radio on the island?
No, not at present. I think this is the idea with Vectus Radio. If they can get a bit more money in through advertising,
yes,
and grow the business a bit,
yes,
they're going to apply for digital wavelengths then, because I think this other station that broadcasts has got the license.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work the same way as the FM. Basically, with the digital radio, a company owns what's called a multiplex, right?
Oh, right.
And on this multiplex, you can apply to put your radio station on the multiplex. So the multiplex carries X number of radio stations. Get it?
Oh, right.
So if I owned the digital multiplex for the Isle of Wight, and you had a radio station along with 5 other people, and they all had their own radio stations, you 5 can come to me and say, hello, we've got a radio station, we want to be on your multiplex. And I would say, yes,
right.
okay, it's going to cost you X, and it's that fine, you send me the money, and I put you out on my multiplex. So it's very different from broadcasting with FM. Now, I know this, funnily you should mention that, because I looked at it last night, just as a matter of interest, to find out how much it would cost to put a radio station on DAB, right? And I found, technically, it seems to be fairly easy. Ignoring the costs, which actually probably wouldn't be that much. I suppose you could do it by IP, you know, similar to the way you're listening to me now. I suppose you could have a computer at that end, a computer at, say, this end, and so that wouldn't be too much of a problem. The price would cost round between £3,500 and £5,000 per month.
Oh, good heavens!
It's a lot of money, isn't it? Between £3,500 and £5,000 per month to go on the digital multiplex thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I think that's sort of like the problem. Because this is a really good station. It's all sort of staffed mainly by volunteers.
Yes.
But unlike your good self, they're sort of like renting sort of premises.
Oh, right, yeah.
So obviously, at the end of the day, the station needs to make some money just to keep afloat. But
yeah, it's a bit different here. We've got the presenters on United Kingdom Radio are all over the place. All have their own sort of little studio, whether it's a spare room in a house, or someone's bedroom, or a shed, or whatever. And all the shows come into me here and go out from here. That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, because I quite often guest on the phone in. They do a phone in between 12 and 1 most weekdays.
Yeah.
And but I never twiddle the knobs. I leave that to someone else. But
yes.
It's all a bit of fun, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. I mean, nothing. It doesn't.
You know,
it doesn't make any money. It costs to do this. We don't make any money. It would be nice to at least make enough money to cover the costs. At the moment, it doesn't. But I'm cool with that. So, you know, for now.
Yeah, that's right. And the same way, it's all sort of new media, isn't it? As you say,
it is.
You had quite a touching call a couple of Saturdays ago, didn't you, from someone?
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? If you can, through talking basically a load of rubbish, but if you can brighten someone's day.
Simon, you've hit the nail on the head. Do you know what? You're the first person to actually say that in all these years. You've said something that I've thought for all these years. I sit here and talk rubbish.
I wasn't really aiming it at you. I was thinking more about myself and I do it.
You sit there. I sit here thinking at the end of the hour, what a load of rubbish that was. But people enjoyed it. So why not carry on? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's right. If I had something that I could pass on to my children as a sort of like aid to life, I'd say, although all the heavy stuff like education, whatever, is don't take yourself too seriously. Because I work with some people, and boy, do they take themselves seriously.
Oh, I know.
Good.
I know. David and Kat are telling me that DAB is actually on the Isle of Wight at the moment. So I don't know about that.
Well, I understand it a bit more now. You spoke about. I know you can. You can get the national stations and what have you on DAB, so there must be a facility for that here.
There's probably a couple on there. I mean, I've actually got 2 DAB radios. I don't know if you heard me talking about this the other week. And in all honesty, I've been a bit disappointed with the reception on both of them. I've got one for the car now. It's not my car radio. It's kind of an addition to the car radio. And I've got one in the house. And honestly, the reception is nowhere near as good as the FM. I listen to LBC, which is a London station, on the car one, and on the FM I can almost get all the way down to Brighton, right?
Yeah.
If I'm listening to DAB LBC, I lose it before I get outside the M25. So, I mean, I don't see how that's an improvement. Now, I was watching. It's funny how we start talking about all radio things now. I was looking at an article somewhere in one of the papers. It might have been The Guardian last week. I can't remember now. And they were saying we now not perhaps to look at DAB as a replacement for FM, but as in addition to it, because it's just not taking off. They keep trying to con us that it is taking off, and it's not. You know, I think it's something like 5 or 9 million sets sold. You know, that may sound a lot, but there's 95 million FM sets. And a lot of car manufacturers are still not putting them in. I was down Toyota yesterday getting some new tyres, okay? And I was looking at a Yaris.
Oh, yeah.
I just got the magazine. I looked at all the... And they're still not putting them in as standard. If you want a DAB radio, that's another 500 quid. Who's going to pay 500 quid for a DAB radio when they can have the FM one for nothing?
Yeah, I think statistically there must be a lot more people listening to internet radio than what there is digital. It's got to be, hasn't there? Or DAB.
No, I don't think there is. No. I saw that as well. I think it was something like a 5.9 listen to DAB and 1.9 listen to internet radio. I think that's what it is. But, you know, one of those things.
And I listen to everything online, even our local BBC radio station, if I want a detailed weather forecast or detailed news, mainly because one of them sat nearby me now, but my darling children, seems to be that every portable radio, FM radio we have in the house, the telescopic aerial's been snapped off. So, so living in Venter with all these hills as I do, I can't get any reception, so I just naturally go to the laptop or the computer and listen to it that way. So,
have you got a lot of coat hangers stuck in the top of your radios?
Oh, that's right. It's almost like modern art. Anyway, I best go. I'm surprised my connection's been this good because the lovely internet provider I have, TalkTalk, was absolute rubbish.
Oh, have you got them as well, have you? I've heard some terrible stories about people with TalkTalk. You see, you know, it's the old story though, mate. You get what you pay for. It's cheap.
I think you do, yeah.
You know,
anyway, nice talking to you.
A lady I knew for years, Gwen, who died this year, she had terrible trouble with TalkTalk. Real terrible trouble. You know, on the phone for hours on end trying to sort out problems. No, they can keep that, mate. They can keep that. I'd rather pay the extra.
Yeah, so it's not so much the fact that I find their customer service bad.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that it always drops out. You can bet your life if you listen to
I can imagine
for about 3 hours, for about 10 minutes of that, you're not going to get it.
Oh, well. Love to your family then, all right?
Okay, then. Cheers.
Bye-bye, Simon. There we are, Simon on the Isle of Wight. Nice to talk to him now. What are people on the Isle of Wight there? Mike, who's in Newcastle, who's got a 2-hour show, is with us tonight between 9 and 11 o'clock. The brand new Saturday late night Mike Cullen show is on tonight between 9 and 11 o'clock. He says, I listen to LBC on DAB from Newcastle. And he says, don't get me started on Talk. Well, that might be something for your show. Give us your experiences about Talk on your show later on. Yeah, LBC, the London chat station, is in various other parts of the country as well as London. But even my DAB radio in the house, now I'm not far from London, I'm in Bracknell. On FM, I get LBC all over the house, in the garden, in the car, everywhere, right? DAB, can't get it. Doesn't work. So I failed to see how that is an improvement, really. Let's have a look here. David and Kat can't find Simon on Facebook. Well, I've sent you his Skype username as well there. Okay. Tom Harris, who's with me, was with you after me at 4 o'clock this afternoon, says, Silence was a great singer at your karaoke night in Hammersmith. He made an impression while we was there. He's a very, very good singer, young Silence. Really good. James Dean in Manchester says, the Tea Party in the USA relates to the Boston Tea Party. When to go against British taxes, they dumped a load of tea in the port rather than pay UK taxes. Is that right? It's something to do with that. So not your cup of tea, really, as they dumped tons of tea into the sea. What a dreadful waste of tea. Honestly. Is that why you lot drink coffee? Just because tea's a bit British? Oh, you're missing so much pleasure on a cup of tea. You really are. And James also tells me that backing tracks are indeed covered by the same license as for music. Okay. All right, boys and girls. Let me just check my emails here. Oh, it's something completely different. And someone keeps... It's actually my best friend Ron, his other half Andy. He keeps sending these messages. Shut up! Because there's this programme on here in the UK called The Only Way is Essex. And it's got some young skinny puff on there who is got to be one of the worst actors I've ever seen on the telly. And he keeps saying on this... The Only Way is Essex, ITV2. And he keeps going, shut up! Actually, they're all bad actors. They're all terrible actors. Like when they're having conversations with each other on the show, right? There's like gaps. You know, there'd be a gap between when one stops speaking and the other one starts, like as if the next one doesn't quite know when to start the script. It's dreadful. Who's that young puff in that? He is just a skinny thing with blonde hair, it is. And these really actually pretty girls were saying to him that he could be a model. You can't have a model like that. It's awful. Awful. Right. Now, we were going to talk today, although we're pushing on time now. I didn't realise it was so late. And we were going to talk about things that you feel you have been conned into over time. Now, we started this off on Tuesday's show. One of the things I think we've been conned into is Subway. Somewhere where I do like to go for my meals. I say meals for a snack. Okay, how do they call a ham and cheese roll a meal? And it's like all these petrol stations as well. We've been conned by those BP garages, Shell garages, where they have big posters in the window with a picture of a sandwich, a picture of a bag of crisps, and a picture of a bottle of Coca-Cola, and call it a meal deal. How is that a meal? It's a snack. Isn't it? A meal to me is something like sausage, egg and chips, pie and mash, you know, roast lamb and whatever. That to me is a meal. You know, pasta, lasagna, pasta bake, paella, pizza, that's a meal. Pizza's a meal. But a sandwich, a bag of crisps, and a bottle of drink is not it's not a meal, is it? How do they call it a meal? It's like, you know, Subway, meal deal. It's a ham and cheese roll. How have we been conned into paying for this £5.50 for a ham and cheese roll, basically? They're a little bit bigger than your ham and cheese roll in Coombs the Baker's or Greg's the Baker's. But nevertheless, they are a ham and cheese roll. So we're talking, and we started off with Subway. Anything else that you can feel that you've been perhaps hoodwinked into over the last 10 or 20 years, perhaps? Things that 20 years ago you would never have paid for these things. Anything else that you can think of? Televisions and telephones in hospitals. We've now been hoodwinked into thinking that we need one of these special units next to us in the hospital bed. I've been fortunate enough not to have been in hospital for many, many years. In fact, they didn't have this when last time I was in hospital, which is 12 years ago. Okay? But I have visited people in hospital, and they have this, like, unit next to them which swings out of the wall. It's got a television, it's got a telephone, and, like, a computer terminal in it. But these are not free. You have to hire these things. And let me tell you, they're not cheap. It is not cheap. It even costs you. It costs you to receive a call when you're in hospital. I think that's outrageous. Some hospitals, it actually costs you, as the patient, money to receive the call by your hospital bed. Now, years ago, there was a telephone on a trolley. Okay? And it would be wheeled around the hospital wards. On a little trolley. Oh, I'd like to make a phone call, nurse. Yes, okay. And at the time, when the phone was free, it would be wheeled to you. This was a pay-as-you-go phone. You put the money in, you make your call, the money rung out, the call finished. But there are people in hospitals running up tens of pounds, hundreds of pounds possibly of bills when they're in there for a long time because they're renting the TV and the internet and all this. That's a bit much, isn't it? Of course, they would say to you, you don't have to have these things. But, you know, it's like dangling a bit of chocolate in front of you, isn't it? If it's there. James Dean in Manchester says the biggest con is a free laptop or Xbox with a mobile contract. It's not free, you pay for it over the life of the contract. Well, I didn't know you had a mobile phone, James. You never use it to ring me. So is there anything else that you feel over the last 10, 20 years or so that you've been conned for? Anything else that perhaps you buy now? Cups of coffee. Cups of tea and coffee. You buy them in a shop now. Whatever happens to taking a flask to work? Costs you about £6 for a flask. And how much does it cost you to make tea at home? 5 pence? 6 pence? Save yourself a fortune. Anything else you can think you can be conned for over the year, then let us know. On the email, please, if you want to. chris@unitedkingdomradio.co.uk. On the Skype, all one word, United Kingdom Radio. Or indeed on the phone, 020 3287 1488. Things that you feel you've been conned by. Stuff that you didn't used to have had. Perhaps these carpet cleaners that come around. They were on Watchdog this week, a BBC programme. Carpet cleaning. How did we used to do that? We didn't, did we? I don't actually remember Mum ever cleaning the carpets. She hoovered every day. I remember as a child, I used to feel comforted by the sound of the hoover going at 7 o'clock in the morning before she woke me up for school. And she'd go, you could hear the hoover slowly coming up the stairs, step by step. And eventually she'd get to the top and do the haul. And then when that hoover went off, I knew it was time to pretend to be asleep again, because she was about to come in and get me up to school. Carpet cleaning. I get loads of leaflets through the door to that, do you? All these deliveries of food and all that. Pizzas, Chinese, Indian, chicken. It's costing a fortune. For people that say they've got no money but they think nothing of picking up the phone and ringing Domino's for a $10.99 pizza. Do it on Wednesdays. You get 2 for 1, dear. Domino's pizzas, 2 for 1 on Wednesday. That's what we like. Email time. Got to say hello to... I'm going to do these in order. Let me see. Millie. Hello, Millie. Millie in Minnesota. And she writes, hello, Chris. You were talking about cats, as I often do on the show, because of my Katie. I've got a cat, Katie. You're making me miss my cat, Tiffany, even more. All the things that you said Katie does when she sleeps with you are exactly the same things that Tiffany used to do. Tiffany was Millie's cat. She also used to lick me all over. Not just on my face or nose. We're talking legs, feet, I mean everywhere. Aren't they funny cats? The one thing that would drive me around the bend when I wake up and find out asleep on top of my feet. Not so bad if you don't have sensitive feet and legs, but I do. And she wasn't exactly a lightweight cat either. And that's the only thing, once they start getting heavy, you know. As a kitten, it's probably all right when they jump up onto you while you're in bed and fall asleep on your chest. Once they sort of start getting a bit fat, like James Dean in Manchester, I mean, you don't want him sitting on your chest, I'm telling you that now. Jesus Christ. Oh, you won't be able to breathe. Dear me. Millie says, if she was, all I could do was lay there and hope she'd eventually wake up and go somewhere else on my bed so that I could go to sleep again. Poor old Millie. You asked us if we thought it was cruel that your best friend Ronnie keeps his 2 cats in his flat. Yeah, don't get me wrong here, I'm not for one moment suggesting that the cat is being mistreated by Ron or indeed anyone who goes over his flat. I just see my cat, you know, she wanders in and out of the house, around the garden, on top of the fence, on top of the shed. She comes out to meet me by the car. She goes where she wants. Whereas people with house cats, well, Ron is just an example. My best friend Ron has got 2 cats. He's got a flat, very busy roads. They never leave the flat. Okay? And it's the same with, for me, with goldfish and things like that. Round and round in them little bowls. I don't like that. I just feel an animal is being imprisoned, really. Millie says, my opinion is that I don't think so. One must remember that where you live is near a forest, and while Bracknell may have the odd vehicle on the road, it's nowhere near as busy as London. Therefore, it's safe for you to let your cat Katie roam about outside as she pleases. And believe me, she does do as she pleases, that cat. My friend in London, Richard, he says, you know, this is the cat's house and she just allows me to live here. I think that's probably right. Millie says, not so in the centre of London. So I think part of the reason he keeps the cats indoors is to keep them safe. Well, yes, it is. Of course it is. You know, he doesn't mean any harm by this. He thinks, along with many other people, that keeping the cat inside is the right thing to do or they will get run over. Now, if he was to let them outside, I've no doubt in my mind at all, eventually they would be run over. There are some very, very busy roads where he lives, right outside his front door. You cannot let the cat out around there. It will get run over, eventually. She says, also, the 2 cats, because he's got 2 cats, do keep each other company, which is why I think Ron got 2 cats in the first place, so that each would be company for the other. And yes, they do. They sleep with each other. I've got big now, his 2 cats. Louis and Vuitton, he's called them. He changed the names. I don't know why. Millie says, I really must look into getting another cat for myself. I'll keep you updated on to how that goes. I think you should, Millie. Yeah, you're on your own as well. They are great company cats. The only thing stopping me is that the building I live in is licensed as an assisted living facility. And under the rules of the said licence, my carers can help me with feeding the cat, but should the cat ever need medication at any time, they wouldn't be allowed to administer it. So I need to find a way to get around that one, but I'm working on it as we speak. So there we are. That's from Millie. Yeah, I think cats are great company. They really are, and they don't need as much as the love and attention that you need to give a dog, for example. Now, my sister, she's got 3 dogs, and they're wonderful dogs, but they're all over you all the time. They want to be with you, which is lovely. If you've got the time. I would love a dog. I'd like one of those German Shepherd dogs. I'd love one. But I haven't got the time to give an animal like that the attention that it deserves. It wants to be loved. Oh, I want to be loved too. Perhaps it will happen one day. Okay? James says, I stayed at a friend's house a few nights ago. They have 5 cats. I was woken up by one stuck in the wardrobe. And 4 cats lying on top of me. Socks used to be an indoor cat. He stayed in for about 7 years. Last year, he has started going out. He often doesn't appear to be any different when he was stuck inside or now. Having said that, it saved me a fortune in cat litter. Oh, that's an awful job, isn't it, eh? Emptying cat litter. Don't you hate doing that? Email to the show is Chris at UnitedKingdomRadio.co.uk. Chris at UnitedKingdomRadio.co.uk. How are we doing on time? All right, one more email then. From Vicky, I've got an email here and one from Zack. Oh, what one shall I do? I tell you what, have I got a coin here? No, I haven't got a coin. Okay, I've got a badge. Heads, Vicky, tails, Zack. Hang on, there it goes. Tails. Okay, Vicky, I'll read out your email on the next show, my darling, okay? And Zack in Australia, he's not with us live today, he must be asleep. I know it's quite late in Australia at this time of the day. Let me just check. Yeah, I think he must be asleep. Zack writes, Hi, Chris. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Oh, my God. What great sin is this that you have committed, young Zack? It has been X amount of time since my last confession. Oh, dear. When's the last time you went? Oh, I haven't been to confession for years. Oh, my God. I'd be in there for ages. The priest would arrange security to chuck me out of the confessional box. I'd be in there for ages. I confess that I fell asleep halfway doing your Tuesday show. What a liberty, dear. You fell asleep doing my show? I thought it would be easier to say. I tuned in, the way I always do, plus the Skype was going super fine. So I decided not to touch anything at all. So much that I went to bed and listened from there. It didn't help that day I finished my last HSC exam and felt a bit tired and, well, you get the idea. If it makes you feel better, I got the podcast and I'm responding to some of the things you brought up. Well, that's fair enough, Zack. That's okay. I don't expect everyone to listen live. In fact, by far, most people download this show and either listen or watch it. By the way, you can find all my old shows at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. As for the time here in Australia, we changed to daylight saving times in the beginning of October. So we have a month listening to United Kingdom radio an hour earlier. But now your clocks have changed, it's an hour later. For instance, your 11 o'clock show was on at 9 p.m. here. It's now on at 10 p.m. And now your 3 p.m. show is on at 2 a.m. Good thing it's on a Saturday night. Saturday night, we're having a party. Just curious, did you get my last email? Yes, I did. Because, you wanted some settings and that. He says, this may sound incorrect, but the auto sensors you were talking about turning lights on in supermarkets may compensate for the lights being constantly lit up, meaning no power is saved or wasted. Yes, it was someone in America. Who was it now? I can't remember now. Someone joined in the show, I think, on Tuesday, and was saying they've got these new gadgets inside, you know, the freezers in shops, in supermarkets, and the cold bits where they've got the frozen peas and whatever, and they've got these things on there where the lights only actually come on as you get to the freezer. So the rest of the time the lights are off. And the idea, of course, is to save electricity, so that's good. And I was also saying that if you're in America, then the Americans have cheese on everything. Whatever they're eating, they have cheese on it. You know, hamburger, cheese. Chips, cheese. Strawberry trifle, cheese. Everything's got cheese on it in America. And Zack says, so what's so wrong with cheese on stuff? This may be an English thing, but toasted cheese sandwiches are the thing in Australia. We like toasted cheese sandwiches with tomato sauce, I hope. Oh, yes. I think it's mainly because our produce department is so rich and stuff. Let me tell you, the food in Australia, the fruit and the veg, is something to die for. I mean, it's really, really good quality food when you go to a supermarket in Australia. And you've never seen so many, what are those little, green things? Kiwi fruits. I've never seen so many kiwi fruits in my life. And bananas in Australia when you go into the supermarkets. So there we are. See you later. And that's from Zack in Australia. Don't worry about being with us live, Zack. I know you join us always by the podcast. It's always grateful for you to join us by podcast or some other way like that. Okay, now I was going to say something to you. Oh, yes, don't forget, boys and girls, I do some non-stop music mixes. Now, these are about an hour and 19 minutes long. At the moment, these are free. Okay, I'm actually trying to find a way to put them behind some sort of paywall And because I've been doing it for so long now, it does cost me money to do these things. And at some point, I'd like to try and at least cover the costs. So they're still free at the moment. If you want to try one of those, then go to chrisreardonshow.co.uk. Download a couple of those and see what you think of those. About an hour and 20 minutes each. There is no talking on these at all. It's just non-stop DJ music. And I usually make one of those each week at one of the places I work at, which happens to be West 5 in Ealing, all right? So once again, chrisreardonshow.co.uk. That's where you'll find my non-stop music mixes. All right, boys and girls, time for me to go. Thank you very, very much for joining me this afternoon. Don't forget, Tom Harris is with you straight after me at 4 o'clock. Sean Harris at 5, and again at 8. And then Mike Cullen tonight at 9 o'clock for 2 hours of late night chat. I'll be with you live again on Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock UK time, Thursday morning at 11 o'clock UK time, and again next Saturday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. Thanks for watching and listening. Chris at unitedkingdomradio.co.uk, my email address. Stay tuned to United Kingdom Radio. Tom Harris at 4 o'clock. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.